So tell us about some of the famous people that you trained as a gunner's mate in Virginia.
During the war, they had this place at Dam Neck, Virginia, called AT&T Test Center, Aircraft Training and Test Center. And principally what we did was train crews on what they call armed guard crews that would be stationed aboard freighters and supply ships that plied back and forth across the Atlantic Ocean. They had a gun mount on the bow and one on the stern, usually 3-inch guns. Once in a while on the bigger ones they might have 5-inch. But there was 2 of these crews on most all merchant ships, and each crew had an officer, if I'm not mistaken, like probably an ensign, and a crew of 5 to arm these guns going back and forth. And we actually fired every day training these crews. They had a lot of class work, and then actually fired every day. And I had several noted people in my, well, not several, only 2 or 3, but Bob Feller, at that time he was the famous pitcher with the Cleveland Indians, and Cesar Romero, who was an actor, and another actor, Benny Blue, and I guess that's it.
And did you wear earplugs at that training center?
Cotton.
So tell us the story about how you ended up being stationed at Dam Neck, Virginia.
I did 4 years on that heavy cruiser in 1934 and 38, and at the end of my enlistment I took a discharge, and I was out for a little over 3 years, I think it was, when World War II started, and I had to go back in the Navy. And the fact that I had just served 4 years, you know, I didn't have to go back to boot camp. And they sent me directly down to the receiving station at Norfolk, Virginia. And the receiving station is where all the new enlistees or re-enlistees are sent while they're waiting to orders to go to different ships or whatever. So, and I had passed, before I took my discharge, the first enlistment, I had finished my course for 3rd class gunner's mate. So almost immediately, I was advanced from Seaman First to 3rd class gunner's mate. But anyway, and I was assigned to a troop transport combination and supply ship, SS Harrison, I think was the name of it. But it was in a Portsmouth, Virginia Navy Yard, and was going to be there like for another 3 months, I think. So in the meantime, they put me to driving, chauffeuring this naval captain, full captain, who was commander of the receiving station. So I drive, his name was J.J. McCoy, and his wife, I would drive his wife like to the commissary or bridge clubs or various things, you know, and also drive the captain wherever he wanted to go. And he would always question me. He could probably look at my record too, you know, but he noticed that I was third-class gunner's mate. But anyway, in our travels, he was always questioning me and about my previous naval experience, and I had told him that the reason I took my discharge was because I got seasick, and I really mean seasick. So one day I had taken him out to this anti-aircraft training and test center. I don't know what his mission was, but anyway, we got out there. Who was the commander out there but Commander Richter, who had been my division officer aboard this ship. But at that time he was only an ensign. But anyway, on the way back from this mission, he said, "Well, Reimer," he always called me Reimer. He said, "Due to the fact that you got seasick and the fact that I can't keep a gunner's mate in the complement of this base." He just said, due to the fact that I got so seasick and due to the fact that he wasn't allowed to keep a gunner's mate in the complement of the base or the receiving station. In other words, it had to be mostly ordinary seaman or boatswain mate. And so I jumped at the chance. And of course he had, you know, being a full Navy captain, he could pull strings. So he pulled me off of the complement of this supply ship that was in the Navy Yard and sent me right out to Dam Neck within a couple of days. And I read later in the paper where the very first cruise when the Harrison got out of the Navy Yard and started across to, I think it was headed for Africa, it was torpedoed. So I always figured the man up above had something to do with that.